The year 1789. France, a nation on the precipice. The French Revolution begins with hope, a promise of liberty, equality, fraternity. But the path to a better world is paved with blood. The revolution spirals into chaos. Violence becomes the language of the people. France is forever changed. This is the story of the French Revolution, a story of idealism and terror, of heroes and villains, of a nation consumed by its own revolution. It is a tale that continues to fascinate and horrify us centuries later. How did a dream of a brighter future descend into a nightmare of bloodshed? France in the late 18th century is a powder keg waiting to explode. The air is thick with tension and the streets are filled with whispers of change. The common people are restless and the seeds of revolution are being sown in the hearts and minds of the masses. Years of extravagance by the monarchy have left the treasury bare. The financial mismanagement is evident, and the kingdom is on the brink of bankruptcy. The lavish spending on wars and opulent lifestyles has drained the coffers, leaving the state in dire straits. The lavish lifestyle of Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette, the Austrian queen, grates on the nerves of the struggling masses. Their extravagant parties and luxurious living are a stark reminder of the inequality that plagues the nation. The opulence of Versailles stands in sharp contrast to the squalor of the common people. Their excesses are a stark contrast to the poverty and hunger endured by the common people. France is divided. The gap between the rich and the poor is widening, and the cries for justice grow louder with each passing day. The commoners are fed up with the blatant disregard for their suffering. The First Estate, the clergy, and the Second Estate, the nobility, enjoy vast privileges. They live in grand estates and enjoy a life of comfort and ease, far removed from the struggles of the common people. Their privileged status is a source of great resentment among the Third Estate. They are exempt from most taxes. The burden of taxation falls disproportionately on the Third Estate, exacerbating the economic hardships faced by the commoners. This unfair system fuels the growing anger and discontent among the populace. The burden falls heavily on the Third Estate, the commoners. They toil day and night yet see little reward for their hard work. The weight of the nation's financial woes rests squarely on their shoulders, and they are growing increasingly resentful. They are the farmers, the artisans, the shopkeepers. They are the backbone of France, yet they carry the weight of the nation on their shoulders. Their contributions are vital to the economy, but their voices are often ignored by those in power. They are the backbone of France, yet they carry the weight of the nation on their shoulders. Their hard work and dedication keep the country running, but they receive little recognition or reward for their efforts. The injustice of their situation is becoming increasingly unbearable. The intellectual ferment of the Enlightenment further fuels the flames of discontent. Philosophers and thinkers challenge the status quo, advocating for reason, equality, and individual rights. Their ideas resonate deeply with the oppressed masses, inspiring them to envision a different future. Ideas of reason, liberty, and individual rights take root in the minds of the French people. The writings of Enlightenment thinkers spread like wildfire, igniting a desire for change and justice. The people begin to question the legitimacy of the existing social and political order. They question the authority of the monarchy and the church. The once unassailable institutions of power are now under scrutiny, as the people demand accountability and transparency. The old ways of governance are no longer acceptable to a populace hungry for reform. They demand a say in their own governance. The call for representation and participation in decision-making grows louder. The people are no longer content to be passive subjects. They seek to be active citizens with a voice in their own destiny. The stage is set for a revolution. The tension reaches a boiling point, and the desire for change becomes unstoppable. The French Revolution is on the horizon, promising to reshape the nation and alter the course of history forever. King Louis XVI, though well-meaning, proves to be utterly inept at handling the growing crisis. His reign is marked by a series of missteps and poor decisions that only serve to exacerbate the already volatile situation in France. He lacks the political acumen and decisive leadership needed to navigate the turbulent waters of revolutionary France. The political landscape is fraught with tension, and Louis's inability to assert control only fuels the fire of discontent. He is indecisive, easily swayed by his advisors. This lack of firm leadership creates an environment of uncertainty and instability, further alienating the populace. He fails to grasp the severity of the situation and the depth of the people's anger. The streets of France are filled with unrest, and the cries for change grow louder with each passing day. In 1787, facing a financial crisis, Louis XVI makes the fateful decision to convene the Estates General. This assembly, which had not been called for over a century, is seen as a last-ditch effort to address the kingdom's dire financial straits. This assembly of representatives from all three estates has not met for over a century. The gathering is fraught with tension and anticipation, as the representatives come with their own sets of grievances and demands. It is a desperate attempt to find a solution to the nation's financial woes. The kingdom is on the brink of bankruptcy, and the pressure to find a resolution is immense. However, this move backfires spectacularly. Instead of uniting the country, it deepens the divisions and sets the stage for further conflict. The Third Estate, emboldened by their grievances, demands greater representation and a fairer system of taxation. They are no longer willing to be sidelined and insist on having a voice in the governance of the country. The king and the privileged classes resist these demands. They are unwilling to relinquish their power and privileges, leading to a standoff. The impasse deepens, and tensions escalate. The atmosphere is charged with anticipation and fear, as both sides refuse to back down. In June 1789, the Third Estate takes the radical step of declaring itself the National Assembly. This bold move is a direct challenge to the existing order and signals a shift in the balance of power. They claim to represent the true will of the French people. This declaration resonates with the masses, who see the National Assembly as a beacon of hope and change. This act of defiance marks a turning point. It is a clear signal that the old ways are no longer acceptable and that a new era is dawning. There is no going back. The wheels of revolution have been set in motion, and the course of French history is irrevocably changed. The French Revolution has begun. The events that follow will reshape the nation and leave an indelible mark on the world. Section 4. The People's Fury. Bastille and the Unstoppable Tide. The news of the National Assembly's declaration spreads like wildfire through Paris. The people, inspired by this act of defiance, take to the streets. On July 14, 1789, a mob storms the Bastille, a formidable royal fortress and a symbol of oppression. The capture of the Bastille is a pivotal moment in the French Revolution. It is a symbolic victory against tyranny. It unleashes a wave of popular uprisings across the country. Peasants rise up against their feudal lords, burning down chateaux and destroying records of their debts. The revolution is no longer just about politics. It is about social and economic justice. It is about the very soul of France. Fear and uncertainty grip the nation. The old order is crumbling, and a new one is yet to be born. In this volatile atmosphere, rumors and suspicions run rampant. Violence becomes an increasingly common tool for settling scores and eliminating perceived enemies. Section 5. Voices of Revolution. Robespierre, Marat, and the Rise of Radicalism. As the revolution progresses, new leaders emerge from the chaos, each bringing their own vision for the future of France. Men like Maximilien Robespierre and Jean-Paul Marat, fueled by revolutionary zeal and a thirst for radical change, capture the imagination of the Parisian masses. Their fiery rhetoric and uncompromising stances resonate deeply with a populace hungry for justice and equality. Their words, printed in newspapers and pamphlets, inflame passions and shape public opinion. The power of the press becomes a crucial tool in their revolutionary arsenal, spreading their ideas far and wide. Robespierre, a lawyer with a reputation for incorruptibility, becomes the voice of the Jacobins, a radical political club. His speeches and writings articulate a vision of a new France, free from the shackles of monarchy and aristocracy. He advocates for a republic, for the abolition of the monarchy. His unwavering commitment to these ideals earns him both admiration and fear. He believes in virtue and terror, arguing that terror is nothing more than swift, severe, inflexible justice. To him, it is a necessary means to achieve the greater good. Marat, a physician-turned-journalist, uses his newspaper, L'Ami du Peuple, to denounce the enemies of the revolution in vitriolic terms. His pen becomes a weapon, striking fear into the hearts of those he deems counter-revolutionaries. He calls for their heads, literally. His relentless attacks contribute to an atmosphere of paranoia and retribution. His words incite violence and contribute to the growing climate of fear and suspicion. The streets of Paris become a battleground with revolutionary fervor often spilling over into bloodshed. These men and others like them become the idols of the revolution. They are celebrated as heroes, their images immortalized in statues and murals. They are seen as the champions of the people, the defenders of liberty. Their influence extends beyond politics, shaping the very culture of revolutionary France, but their radical vision for